Hey guys, I have never done a live before, so I thought I would test it out and see how it goes, see where to look for the camera and things like that. But I wanted to do these more and hopefully you guys like it. I definitely know that I need to increase engagement on here, especially on my YouTube. It's a channel that I've had for a long time, but I haven't been as diligent on it, I should say. So anyways, I'm hoping to change that and I'm going to start doing some more live. So as you probably saw in the title, one of the things that's been coming up for me a lot or I guess pressing on me to talk about is the concept of bravery. So it comes up a lot in my calls with clients, and as I've probably mentioned before, most of my clients are men, but I also have female clients as well. And we tend to speak on bravery in different contexts. So bravery in context with men versus bravery in context with women is slightly different, although the mechanisms or the way that you can build bravery are pretty much the same. But what's been interesting is it coming up specifically around relationships and dating and how to actually build bravery into connecting with someone else. So I think it's interesting because most of my videos don't have anything to do with dating, but it seems that as far as search-wise or the most amount of watches have to do with dating. So I guess you guys want to hear more about that from me. So that's why I'm talking about it more tied into that with you today. So one of the biggest things is like, how do you actually become more brave? And the first thing about that is even recognizing when you're scared. So, and where your fears are, like where are they actually lying, And I have found in the work that I do with my clients, like a lot of times they don't even specifically know exactly where their fear lies, right? And so they think that they're creating these boundaries around what it is that they want, but they're actually creating boundaries around the very thing that they do want. So we tend to have the most fear in connection with the things that we actually do want. And when we've had disappointments in the past or have been hurt in the past and things like that, then that's where we end up creating those walls, and those walls are our fears. Okay, so our behaviors and our actions in order to protect our fears are the things that get in the way from you having the very thing that you want. So how do you actually build bravery? How do you actually train yourself to overcome fear? Is by giving yourselves micro tests in a day or in a week or in a month, at least once over a specific period of time, shorter periods of time better, where you have to face something that scares you. And so make those things small. So first becoming aware of like, oh, where do I even sense that I have fear? But then doing small little habits or small little things to actually help you train yourself on how to overcome fear within yourself. So that can be anything from practicing using a language that isn't your first language. It can be something as simple as that. It can be going on live on YouTube, for example. It can be something like that. It can be, like something I was discussing with someone the other day is going up and doing stand-up comedy, like something that scares you, but it trains you on how to overcome fear and overcome fear on a micro level so that, again, you can teach yourself how to actually recognize when you are afraid and how to overcome that. Because it's the micro fears, it's the little fears that end up stacking up and ruin your possibilities of connection with others in relationships. So That's a really important one to get into practice for yourself. And the second part of this is your intuition, you know, so trust your intuition, trust your gut. You know, I find men tend to say their gut more than women tend to say their intuition, right? It's the same thing. So trust what comes up for you and trust that what your intuition is saying is right, and also becoming aware of when you're overriding that. So when you're overriding your own gut, when you're overriding your own intuition, and what makes you do that? Fear. Because there's that fear of not knowing, well, okay, this is what my intuition is saying is right. This is what my gut is saying is right. But how is that even possible? Right? That question of how is it even possible, or that doesn't seem right, or how can that even work out? That is our own selves getting into the way, our rational selves getting into the way of what is actually right for us. And this can be true in all of our lives, not just like in connection with other people. It's in all things in our life. So that's the other part of it. So here's the thing that like I find super interesting is, and this is the thing that like I hear a lot from people and has happened to me as well. And actually the first time that it happened to me, I was like, what was that? Like, what just happened? And to me, it was like, wow, what a coward, you know? And that has to do with like ghosting and blocking. So I know that it is a common thing. It's not something that I've ever done. Like, I don't understand it actually at all. Like, I just think that if you don't like someone, like, and you've had multiple interactions with them, just say so. But to like just like ghost someone and not say like, you know, thank you for the time that we spent, or and then on top of that to like block someone, I can honestly say like there's only like one person that I've ever known as a person that I've ever blocked in my life, and anyone else that's ever been blocked are literally people that I don't know. They're just freaking crazy people on the internet. But so that behavior is really, really like the ultimate act of cowardice, right? And so that right there shows you, and if you're doing that behavior, shows you right there, like where you need to work on your fears. And, you know, I think a perfect example of being able to dive into bravery, and especially when dating and especially in relationships, is doing those small acts of bravery when it is with someone that you don't like. Why? Because that gives you the practice of being brave enough to say how you're feeling or what your connection on your end of things feels like with that person, and practicing that with the people that you don't like, or you're not into, or you decided you didn't like at all. Like that gives you the strength and gives you the tools and gives you the practice of bravery, so that when you step into someone or step into a connection with someone that you do like, you now know when you're getting scared and how to actually like override those things. But also it gives you the opportunity to really be able to be comfortable with the pacing of things and time. So, you know, you don't end up trying to rush things or push things or love bomb or, you know, things like that. When it is with someone that you do like, you're more comfortable with where things are and the pace of things and saying how you feel, and, you know, again, stepping beyond the fear and the blocks that you put up for yourself to fight connection, and then end up ruining something with someone that you really did like, because your fears got in the way and you're not in the practice of stepping into bravery. And again, doing that with people that you don't like as much, and recognizing how that bravery brings a level of not just kindness, but respect for humanity or humans in general. It's a matter of respect when you're brave, especially when it comes to emotional things. So that was another point that I think is important. And, that does lead into time. Like, it takes more bravery to slow things down. It takes more bravery to allow time and be patient. Sorry, I have to look at my notes, but and then, because the thing is, right, rushing and love bombing and all of those things, the anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I didn't hear from them for 5 hours, all of those things, what is that? That's fear. And that rush is to satisfy fear. So again, stepping into that bravery, taking those initiatives to learn how to find bravery within yourself and take action in bravery really helps you to understand and be comfortable with and satisfied by patience and time. So the next part I kind of want to step into a little bit is what comes up a lot with women in particular, is this notion that a woman can make a man. And so a lot of times people will date potential. And when you date potential, it's that hope that you can make the man or inspire the man to be what you see as a potential in them. And I hate to break it to you ladies, but it's not your job to make a man. A man must make himself, period. And no matter what you do, no matter how much you love them, you cannot make them into the man that you know they can be. They can only do that for themselves. So I know that's a hard one for a lot of women to hear, especially because women invest emotionally so deeply that, you see women, and I did it myself, so I totally understand, where you are in a relationship that is not good for you in hopes that that person will eventually, right, become what you know they can be. But you can't do that. They only can do that for themselves. So, but the flip side of that, right, which is kind of the catch in all of that, is that love can inspire a man to become himself what he knows he can be, right? So love can and does inspire, but you cannot make anyone love you, right? Only time, only patience can do that. But that doesn't mean that you sit around and you wait for someone forever. No, it doesn't mean that you sit around and give them all the time in the world. That doesn't mean that you sit there in patience and be totally sad and upset yourself waiting for this to happen. No, love can and does inspire, but you cannot make that happen. So you gotta, one, love yourself enough and give that attention to yourself enough that, again, you teach yourself how to be brave. Hopefully the other person trains themselves in bravery, and then things can open up to a new level. So that was pulling on me and pushing me to get this out there. So hopefully whoever needs to hear this message hears this. Be sure to like and follow me on YouTube or on any of my other social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, but I'm not ever really on there, and TikTok. So be sure to go to those platforms. They're all at Best Lauren Kess, all of them. So if you see anything else on there, that's not me, but Best Lauren Kess is me. And be sure to also click on the notification icon so that you get messages when I go live or when I post a video. So leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the lives. I'll be trying to jump on here more, and let me know what you think of what we talked about today. And also be sure to share what you're going to do to train yourself to be brave.